Rock and roll, everyone. What's going on, everyone? Big Play Slate here, coming back with another live stream. Special guest on today, Lindy Endzone. I think most of my channel has heard about you because we've had like historic, like, I don't know, Eagles video makers, and he's one of the best ones out there. One of the more underrated ones. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to Lindy Endzone. Links in the description. But introduce yourself, man.
Well, obviously it's been a long time coming, BPS. Since we first got to meet over here, you've been in. I've seen you in countless call-ins, throughout the time of being on YouTube and everything. And well, it finally happened that I got onto your channel. What is it now? 500 subscribers later, your channel's a lot big. Channel's a lot bigger now, but it finally happened. We're here.
Sir?
Yeah. So obviously, if y'all don't know me at all, I'm pretty diverse when it comes to my fan base. It is a Braves hat and that is a Mavericks jersey in the background. I know it's kind of it's different. It's different. So, but if you like that kind of diversity of fandom, y'all already know how it works. Love to have you part of the End Zone fam, but all you do is hit that subscribe. So
11 already in chat. Like and subscribe, everyone. If you haven't already, this is Lindy Endzone. Go subscribe to him. This guy's been sitting at what, 202 for the longest. Come on, man. We can get that higher. We shouldn't have one of the best underrated Eagles content creators sitting at 202. Let's get him to 300 by the start of the season, for us at least. So Lindy, let's talk about last night's game. Dallas versus Tampa. Let me give a couple shout outs real quick before I even go into that. Uh, Ethan, Sports Kid, Jock Talk, AB, Vibe. He says, "Hey, Lindy Legend, how are you?"
Jock, as always, man, one of the wisest, one of the dudes with words of wisdom.
Yes, sir. Benny's in here. Uncensored's in here. What's good, man? Big Fridge, always his funny weirdness, is a also Atlanta Braves fan and Atlanta Falcons fan. What's going on, Jordy? And I don't think you want to troll Matthew Goodman. Your Cowboys lost last night, so Rashad's here. Kadar's in here. Dak is back, of course. Devontae Smith here, and I am doing good, Jinx. Let's get into it. Yep. So the last night's game, Dallas and Tampa went toe to toe. How'd you feel about this game? Was there like anything that surprised you? And how did just like this game overall like impact how we are going to be this year, like in our division for Eagles and Dallas?
I mean, for the longest time, we've been hearing about that. Oh, Washington's gonna end up being the favorite, and as much as we don't want to, believe that, it's still a possibility. But there's going to be quite a pendulum swing on that happening, depending on how well Ryan Fitzpatrick plays. He has one of the better offensive groups at his disposal in his career, working with the likes of Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin and a bunch of other playmakers for Washington. But for the Cowboys, my Cowboy hate before the game told me that they were going to lose by at least 14-17. But at the same time, this was a game where there was a lot of hype in the return of Dak Prescott. Outside of him having a pretty good training camp and Dallas doing their necessary precautions to keep him as fresh as possible and to not overwork him at times throughout camp. They did a decent job of that, and I think it was put well on display in that game last night against Tampa Bay, the defending Super Bowl champs. They're in a hostile environment. They played pretty well for the most part, but when you win the turnover battle 4-1 and still lose that game, you left a lot on the table. And going forward, we can't expect the Cowboys to continue to be as pass heavy as they were. One of the last things you want to do, for your respected team offensively, is to be one dimensional. And Eagles fans, unfortunately, under Doug Peterson, we knew of that way too much because we knew what happened at the end of the day when number 11 was still here, and we saw him passing way too many times because of his inconsistencies. That's not a recipe for success moving forward for Dallas. So one of the bigger concerns for them for me, is to continue to check on that health on the offensive line. They did not have Zach Martin yesterday. Lyle Collins has now been he is now under a danger of suspension, which his lawyers are still trying to appeal. According to the NFL policy, they're trying to fight that right now. So he could very well miss 5 games. And they just lost Michael Gallup to a calf strain, so he's not going to be on the field week 3. And there's a good chance that Lyle Collins is not going to be on the field for week 3. So that's 2 key players that they lost offensively. Defensively, they were there and then they weren't there. I think the bigger highlights to them defensively were their secondary had their moments. They did force a considerable amount of turnovers, as we discussed. I think it was 2 fumbles to 2 interceptions. Well, to be fair, Ronald Jones should not have fumbled, but it got punched out. But I think by DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you had Chris Godwin. That's inexcusable. You can't fumble that ball either. So through and through, am I still worried about Dallas? Yes and no. This is the first game of the year. Of course, this is going to be a measuring stick for how well they play moving forward. But like I said, this is week 1, and there's a lot of games left. So we'll see come week 3 how Dallas looks. But to play the way they did against Tampa, there's a bit of cause for concern.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. I think there's a small bit of worry for Cowboys fans. Uh, I think there's a small bit of worry for Cowboys fans in terms of that defense a little, but they stepped up. No one thought that they were going to do that good against Tampa. They held them to 31 points, even though Tampa definitely beat themselves in that game. They won the game, but Dallas definitely should have won that game. If it wasn't for the offensive pass interference, the Godwin one where he clearly had that offensive pass interference, a lot of things that could have went right for Dallas went completely south. And that's why they lost the game. Instead of running the ball efficiently at the end, they threw the ball, and you don't want to do that against Tampa and Tom Brady. So that's why I thought they lost. But does this make them like a major threat to where they're 1? And I don't know if you have us 1, but do they shoot up the boards now? And does that scare you?
I don't necessarily know that it completely scares me. Yeah, their offense looked very good against a underwhelming Tampa secondary. One of the first things I pointed out is that Amari Cooper did show up on the road this time. He was the best receiver for Dallas that night, and CeeDee Lamb was a close second. Michael Gallup came in on a couple of third down conversions in critical moments. Too bad for Cowboys fans that they lost Gallup for a few weeks there, and he's not going to play against us. But nonetheless, it is not a good situation going forward to where your quarterback is throwing almost 60 times in a single game. I think the most we've ever seen Carson throw was what was it, 47, 48, something like that, and he didn't have a very good game. Rating wise, the team didn't have a very good game either. So this is the flip side in comparison to how well Dallas played at points in this game. Um, Zeke was underwhelming. The run game in general was underwhelming. You paid Ezekiel Elliott like X amount of dollars, like around $90 million or something like that, as a running back, and he gets fewer than and he's limited to fewer than 15 carries. I think his total touches may have been closer to that mark as
I'm
BPS
just
is
playing
playing
around.
with that. Yeah, as you're playing with that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Um, but yeah, I mean, and then does the defensive line of Tampa Bay have that much of an influence on how Dallas approached this game? I'm sure it is, because this time, run defense wise, the Buccaneers had Vita Vea. They didn't have him healthy. They didn't have him healthy last year. So you add Vita Vea to Ndamukong Suh, and then Shaq Barrett and Levante David, and a lot of those big guys up front. You're not in for a very good day when you know that your offensive line is lacking the way it is based on personnel. So Dallas almost had no choice but to throw the football, and it served them well for a little bit, because Tampa lost Murphy Bunting that game. Outside of Winfield Jr. and Carlton Davis, their secondary is nothing to really be afraid of. And Dallas had the proper weaponry to take advantage with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. You're seeing a little bit of Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz in there a little. So, but like I said, this is only the first game. I don't think our division is going to be the NFC least. I'm hoping it's going to be a little more competitive this year, but I don't see a clear slouch of a team in our division as of right now.
I I agree. I don't think there's a slouch. I think it'll definitely be more competitive this year. I think every team in this division has a chance to win it because it's not, the greatest division, but you have a chance in this division. That's one thing you definitely have. And I like to compare it to the division that the Braves are in, just a little. And the
Yeah,
yeah,
it does.
baseball, it's
Yeah,
almost like
yeah,
that. It's literally almost like that. Three competitive teams, and then you got your shitty teams. That's basically what you.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what you compare the NFC East to. But like, I just think the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Washington all have a chance. I just feel like Dallas is primed to win this division because they've been a threat for several years. They've held that crown of just being a threat in this division. The Eagles have been in this division for a good minute. They've been, just that number one team next to Dallas. But now we're not going to be the greatest team. We've lost Wentz. We've lost Doug. We're not going to be the greatest team. But we're still a threat either way. But Dallas, I just think they have the chance to win it, and I do think they'll win it. But every team has a chance, and it kind of shows me that Dallas, if the offense clicks just a little more against a really good defense, then you kind of can see that they are an NFC Championship contender, or an NFC contender at least.
Well, in fairness, the Cowboys have, for the last few seasons, they've had some unfortunate injuries at their more key positions that really affected on how well they played over the course of the season. So, now they're hoping to avoid that this year, and it appears that Dak is, the Dak of old. But yeah, they if they're going to be that team, like that dominant team that Cowboys fans were pretty ecstatic about in 16 when Dak and Zeke were rookies, they got to get the run game going, because they can't expect the passing game and that defense from time to time to continue to carry them. Um, it was good for them to see how active Micah Parsons was. I think Micah was all over the place. They still have some intrigue to see how Jabril Cox is going to continue to develop, because that's a nice tandem that I'm a little bit jealous about, because I did like Jabril Cox coming out of North Dakota State and LSU. I thought he would have been a perfect fit for the Eagles defense, but I'm a little bit jealous of that they have that tandem going on. So there's promise there, especially with having concerns of, the health of Leighton Vander Esch, and is Jalen Smith going to continue to be that guy? But, they need to, for Dallas to continue to be that kind of threat. Geez, what am I saying? I think it's because there's a Dallas jersey back there, but it's the Mavericks. It is the Mavericks, but but nonetheless, for Cowboys fans, they need to make sure that they fire on all cylinders to be the definitive favorite in the division. And this is the start, but they need to work on that.
I agree. So do you have like your NFC East like 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Well, I guess because week 1 for the Eagles is around the corner,
Yeah.
I would. I guess I gotta be biased here. From a positive perspective, I would love to see Philly win the division with the fresh start that they have gotten with the coaching staff, and finally committing to Jalen Hurts and him getting that opportunity. So if I had to pick a top tier battle between first and second, I have a feeling that it's going to be between us and Dallas, and Washington is going to be a close third, with the Giants being dead last.
That is surprising. So you have us 1, right?
Yep.
All right. So
yeah. 1, Dallas 2, Washington 3, and the Giants 4.
Oh yeah. As we are like talking about Dallas and Buccaneers, Slitta joins. What's up, Slitta? Atlanta Falcons fan. Just a little tad bit controversial, but we're not gonna talk about that. He is a good Falcons fan. At least he supports his team. He knows what he's talking about. He said he wants to say hello. Go Falcons! We're kicking that ass this Sunday. Just remember that. Packers go to Washington 1, Dallas 2, Eagles 3, and Giants dead last. I'm kind of surprised no one's not like really high on the Giants. Like, I'm not the highest on the Giants. I just don't think they're not gonna be as bad as people think, because they're good on both sides. It's just that injuries can derail them, and we still don't know what Daniel Jones is as a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we don't know what Jalen Hurts is as a quarterback either, and this is going to be the biggest determining factor for Eagles fans to figure out going into this year. But to me, the way the support system has been built around Hurts so far, I do like it a little better than what the Giants did for Daniel Jones, even though they brought in some veterans for him, and Galladay and Kyle Rudolph, and they brought in Kadarius Toney, and they still have Evan Ingram and players like that. I just think from a fit perspective and a purpose perspective, the offensive playmaking system that Hurts is going to have at his disposal collectively, knowing the responsibilities of these players, is going to support him a lot better than Daniel Jones.
Honestly, I could see it. I think they'll be third. Y'all don't want to hear my last. Y'all do not want to hear my last. I think it's us last, but that's only because we're retooling. That's only why I say that. We're only retooling. We're gonna be good this year. We're gonna be solid. And what's up, Billy Mike? How you doing, bro? The big dog is in the house.
Well, Mike.
Yeah. He says I get Chris Carson. I trade. No, no, I'm not doing that. It's in one of our leagues, and he wants me to trade him that.
Well, based on your projection, I would have to think Coach Sirianni would have something to say about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
With the it just with the way that he's been handling these press conferences as of late and how he's taking this approach as a head coach, you can't help but continue to be sold by him more and more because of how open he feels and how comfortable he feels with talking to the media and how he's handling them. He's continuing to sound like a veteran coach that has been there and done that over the years. And I think that's going to continue to allow him to be on a good start. And this is something positive for the players too. They want to see that kind of confidence in a coach. It's easy to get behind somebody like that, and it's going to make you want to play at your very best. And I think that's one of the best qualities that Sirianni has developed as a head coach, and showing the players and showing the fan base that this may be my first time, but you know don't think I'm going to approach this like it's my first time.
And I love that attitude. That is a good leader. That's a very good leader. Very good leader, especially in terms of how he like runs, his practices, how he goes about things.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like just a good guy in
I
general.
mean, think about this. Jalen Hurts is that kind of character too,
Yeah.
and think about it this way: you hear Coach saying the phrases that his quarterback says, like that kind of connection that they have. You have Sirianni saying "rent is due," that came from Jalen Hurts. You got a lot of guys buying into each other. How collective of a group, how close of a system that this is becoming already this early. And that's one of the most important factors that you could qualities that you could have going into your first year.
Telling you, man. Sirianni seems like a great coach. Honestly, man, this dude seems like a great head coach so far. And
Oh yeah.
I hate passing that word around to a first year type of person. Because you don't want to do it with the first year guy, but what this dude is preaching, you want to rally under that. You
Yeah.
want to rally
Yeah.
behind. But like, yeah, go.
You can't help but to say it because of the way he's establishing himself. And it makes it that much better to think that it's not just him either. I think the collection of the staff in general, and he appreciates his receivers coach and Aaron Moorhead, who's still here. A lot of us were thinking that Aaron Moorhead was not going to be retained because that's just the way it went the last couple of seasons, whether it was Carson Walsh or Mike Groh, and then they try to promote Mike Groh to like a passing game coordinator, offensive coordinator type of role, and it was an absolute disaster. So how Aaron Moorhead as a wide receivers coach is appreciated. And then you got Denard Wilson and Michael Clay and Tracy Rocker and Shane Steichen and Jason Michael. How positive of a collaborative effort it has become so far, that these guys are that attached to each other to have the same common goal. It's a breath of fresh air, really, and that's going to lead to the excitement going into week one on how is it going to pay off with all these new additions, how the players are absorbing the teachings. Are we going to see on the field what we have been seeing in spurts of the preseason and joint practices? That's going to be the most exciting part.
1000%. Um, Enough of Dallas and the Buccaneers game. Let's just talk about the Eagles, Falcons real quick. Since we haven't mentioned that yet, oh my God, just stop it, Big Bridge. I'm not getting to your comment. You
You're
weirdo.
feeling it right now.
That dude he's such an annoying brat. For Atlanta Braves fan. He's always on me. He just trolls. Don't mind him.
Well, speaking of the Braves, Fridge, we're going to win the division for the fourth year in a row. I'm just putting it out there. Sorry, Phillies fans, but it's going to happen. It's
yeah,
inevitable.
yeah. There's no way you don't win it. I agree, Jock Talk. I 1000% agree.
Yeah. How did I forget to mention Stoutland?
Yeah,
He's like
man.
he's like the god. He's like the god of the positional coaching staff.
Yeah,
What he's done to see the type of players that we're keeping. You know, the team liked Pearson Bacher, but he ended up getting waived. But what he's done with Jordan Mailata, and then Brett Toth coming up the way he has. Herbig has looked better. Jack Driscoll, a lot of these lower tier type of guys, and they're making quality contributions. Stoutland's unbelievable. We got to be so thankful that he didn't take that Alabama job to go with Saban. I
yeah,
don't know where our offensive line would be if Stoutland wasn't here, outside of the veterans, of course.
yeah, 1000%. And Big Fritz has, and we're going to dominate it for more and more years to come. You're not totally wrong. Yeah. Let's jump into Atlanta, Philly. Yeah. Jordy Fighter, Stellan's a magician. 1000.
Yep.
Eagles, Falcons. Who do you have winning this game?
Is this a trick question?
Yeah. I think we all.
No. Go Birds. That's the way it works. Go Birds. Yeah, I do got the Eagles winning this game. I think this is one of the matchups the Eagles would want in Week 1 as a season opener. What was it since? I forget what the year is. I can't remember. But in season openers, the Eagles have been 8-2. So I continue. I expect that trend to continue. I think we're going to be 9-2 in season openers. I have it at the most. I have this a 2-score game. I have the margin of victory anywhere from 10 to 14 points. I don't think the Falcons have the defensive personnel to be able to contain both the run and the pass game. I feel that this is going to be the opportunity to not so much open the entire playbook. I don't think it's necessarily going to be needed offensively. But I do want to see a balance between the run and the pass. Time of possession is going to be very important for the Eagles to control the flow of the game offensively and defensively. Continue to tire out that Falcons defense. Keep them on the field for long successions on their drives. Make them like 7, 8. Anywhere from 7 to 13 play drives, like us wearing down the Patriots in the Super Bowl, to go on like 13 play 75-yard drives, or 10 play 90-yard drives, something like that. And so what would I say, offensively or defensively, who's going to struggle more? I would think the defense is going to struggle a little bit more, especially between the secondary and linebacker group. I'm not afraid of the D line underperforming. There's just too much talent down there. And we haven't even talked about Ryan Kerrigan enough. I mean, he came off of that thumb surgery. We haven't seen him too much in training camp. So to add him to that rotation with Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, and then Milton Williams switching between the D end and DT position, that athletic freak that he is, the Falcons just don't have the offensive line to be able to contain that, in my opinion. They do have some considerable veterans there, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. To me, this game is going to be won in the trenches on how well we can keep Matt Ryan under pressure, and I think that's going to allow Jalen Hurts to continue to gel in a comfort zone offensively. So if I had to give a score prediction, I would say I would say maybe 28 to 28 to 14 Philly.
That's reasonable. I think it's going to be more of like a closer game. I think it's 26-20 Philly. Um, Even though I won't count out Atlanta because Matt Ryan can definitely torch our defense if he has a chance to. I mean, he's done it for several years. He's done it to many defenses, even ones that you don't expect him to torch.
Well,
But I don't think it's going to be
since
that way this game.
what is it? Since 2000 or 2005, trying to think of the year. I think it's I can't remember the year. It's either since 2000 or 2005. The Eagles are 11-5 against the Falcons, and that includes the playoffs. So, but we haven't been good against them as of late. But I'm still not worried. But unfortunately, we never seem to play very well in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. So that's the only cause for pause that I have. But then again, Doug Peterson's not the coach anymore. And the last couple of games with Doug Peterson as coach, we didn't play very well. And the last couple of games that a certain somebody was the quarterback, and a certain somebody was a wide receiver, and a certain somebody was the defensive coordinator, and some other defensive players, we didn't play very well. This is a new team, and there should be a lot of optimism. There should be a lot of optimism going into the first game. Should we expect growing pains? Absolutely. We're not going to be top notch. We're not going to be a team that looks like a well-oiled machine. But you better dang well know Sirianni is not going to. He's going to put it under a zero tolerance type of atmosphere
Yeah,
for rookie or stupid mistakes.
yeah, yep. Emily, what's good? She says at a friend's house, staying the night. Sorry I haven't gone on. You're completely fine. You don't have to come on. I'm not forcing you to come on. But thank you for always supporting my channel. But let's get to some of these comments because I missed a few. I mean, Jock Talk says 24/7, 24/7 Eagles.
I
Um,
like that one too.
Goodman says 31-30 Falcons. Could go either way, though. Could agree. 17-10 Philly. That's a closer game. I like that. And then Bergman is messing around with Matthew Goodman in the chat because he's a Cowboys fan. But yeah. Let's go through the Eagles schedule. I don't know if you want to go through the NFC East schedule, but we'll do Philly from now on. Um, yeah. Let me come back real quick. I need to go pull that up. You can talk to the
Yeah.
chat if you want.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think it would serve best to do the first few sets of games, like going through
Yeah.
maybe like maybe through week 6 or so, because we can include Tampa Bay in there.
Yep.
Since we already got a footprint on how Dallas played Tampa, we can learn a thing or two.
Yep.
Kansas City is in there. Dallas themselves is in there. We got our schedule isn't looking fairly easy to start outside of the Falcons game and hopefully Dallas. But that's not.
All right. Before I get to the Eagles schedule, go subscribe to Lindy. Get him to 200. What's that? 210. 204 right now. Get him to 210. 300 is on the way. Let's help him get there, man. Deserves it very well. Let's go to this Eagles schedule. I'm gonna come back. You can talk to the chat.
Yeah. So, all right. What are we thinking of? We're seeing some more score predictions in here. We got 4-3 Falcons. Good Lord, that's a baseball score, Fridge. Come on. But maybe that'll be the score of the Braves and Marlins game. But I expect the Braves to score more on the Marlins because the Marlins are just total trash.
The Braves suck.
Well, history doesn't tell you that based on a division. Well, that's not the here nor there. We did, yeah. You're only saying that because we choked to the Dodgers. That's fine. That's fine.
1000%.
Yeah, yeah. I see. I called it. I called it. We got Birdman saying 24-17. That's another realistic score. The spread or the spread of the game is only 3.5, so that does make sense. I could agree with that one. Yeah, I think we can afford to see a one score game. I'm thinking a one score is probably going to be more appropriate than 10-14. As much as we feel that we do have a lot of offensive firepower, to put the score up on the Falcons. It's just we're just going to have to see how in sync Jalen Hurts is going to be with his playmakers, being that he did not get a lot of preseason time outside of one drive for a few plays here and there. We were supposed to see him in the Patriots game, but he ended up getting sick, which at the time I was clowning about that, and I thought it was total BS, but it turned out to be true. So I do apologize for that, because that was in my play-by-play. So now I look like a clown for clowning that. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, we can get the points, but it's just how well Sirianni, Steichen, and Hertz can work together to put those points on the board.
And I want to highlight this comment real quick. I do watch baseball, Big Bridge. I don't think many people know that. I do watch baseball. I just don't cover it. I don't care to watch it like every day, because like if you're not like a big junkie about it and like you literally watch the game, it's like literally every single day. If you watch the game, you'll get used to it. But I'm not that type of guy. I am a Dodgers fan. You could call me a bandwagon, but I'm getting into the sport. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Watching a game and going to a game is just a totally different experience. I was at Truist Park. What was it? A couple years ago now already. Wow. And that was one of my bucket list type of moments, going to a Braves game in Atlanta.
Lindy legend for a reason.
I'll never forget it. That game, I predicted Acuna would hit a dinger, and he did not disappoint, because he cracked one. I loved it. I hope he gets well, though. I hope he's doing well. I miss him.
You can get to this question while I'm getting the thing.
Who's going to cover Pitts? That is definitely going to be a difficult one. I think that's going to be more so relied on the way the defensive scheme is going to work for the Eagles in that 4-2-5 kind of look. They might have to put an extra linebacker out there in some situations to put some kind of size on Kyle, and he can still run, maybe not to the tone of or not to the speed of a low 4.4. But for a guy like that to be at that size and to run as fast as he does, you want to be up in him. You don't. The last thing you want to do is to let Pitts work in space and get to his spots, like the way the Falcons are going to have to worry about Devontae Smith, the best route runner out of the entire NFL draft. That so happened to be the Heisman winner. That is a Philadelphia Eagle. I don't think the Falcons have the personnel in the secondary to compete against Devontae Smith, even though he's a first-year rookie coming from college. I mean, you just don't see that kind of footwork all that often. So I think it's going to be a nice canceling out kind of balance as far as the defensive struggles between both teams. The Falcons are going to struggle covering Devontae Smith, and the Eagles are going to struggle covering Kyle Pitts. So it's going to be up to how well those defenses take those two players out, and if the rest of the playmakers on said offenses, how well they can step up. So if if Pitts isn't going to be that guy in situations, you're gonna have to see you're gonna have to see Calvin Ridley for the Falcons. If it's not going to be Devontae Smith in those situations, then we're going to have to see Jalen Reagor. We're going to want to see Quez Watkins. We're going to want to see our tight end tandem that's still here between Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. So that's going to be one of the biggest key factors in this game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Wilson. I agree with Jordy. Wow. Jock Talk coming in with a hot take.
That's a good one.
Don't agree, but that is a good hot take. I won't lie. That's a good.
I see that, Matthew.
Bro, as soon as I talk about the Cardinals, I'm Cardinals fan. Like, what is today? But let's get the hazardous kid. You joined at a perfect time. A perfect time.
Good job, Jock.
Yeah, how Jock Talk just said, Jalen Hurts will have a better season than Kyler Murray. I'll take a screenshot of it. I'll clip this. I think Kyler Murray will have a better season. But if you say Jalen Hurts has a better season, we'll come back to this. And if you're right, I'm going to come on here and say I'm wrong. And if you're wrong, then I'm going to come on here and troll the living hell out of you. But, yeah. What's going on, BLSG? He says, what's good, BPS and Lindy? I'm ready for the Eagles on Sunday. How about you guys? I'm pumped. I know Lindy is. I'm pumped too.
I think Eagles Twitter did a good job with that with that little 2 minute and 38-second Go Birds video. That was something. That was something. It's like oh man, I almost teared seeing it, dude. I almost teared seeing it. It was just I don't know. Just the feeling I got from watching it. It helped me. It helped me be like, you know what? Something's different here. Something about this feels totally different, and it's a different kind of excitement, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. Go Birds! I missed it, man. But I'm gonna have to try and work around a schedule with covering 2 teams when the NBA season starts too, because I'm gonna have to do Mavericks games as well. Yeah. But man, I'm either way, man. I'm pumped.
I think I'm gonna do the live play-by-play for the Eagles game this Sunday. Of course I gotta watch the game on the phone or TV, but yeah. Let's just go into the schedule. We've covered a lot of oh my God, Jock Talk, don't you bring that up. They call me, you missed that they call me Howie Roseman now. I don't know what that where they got this from. I blame Papa Sora.
Oh wow. Speaking of the Cards, I'm pretty intrigued about Keyshawn Johnson. I hope he turns into something. Like what are we going to do with him? Yeah. It also intrigues me to the fact that when we protected some of the practice squad players going into week 1, that Travis Fulgham was not protected, but John Hightower was.
God,
that's interesting.
Look at what Jordy said. Which BPS is on camera? BPS to the Giants.
Good one, Jordy. Bring it up.
Oh my God! I saw it. Are you kidding me? Are you actually serious? He joins. How?
Make this stuff up.
Happening? All right, bro. He like what? First hazardous kid joins at the Cardinals time, and then Giant Opinion Sports joins as soon as we're talking about the Giants.
A lot of new names, though. It's cool. Yeah. Cool to see. A lot of new names to me.
Yeah. A lot of new names in the chat. How dare you all? What's going on, Corey Davis? He says, hello, BPS. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Same to you, man. I hope you're having a great day. Go subscribe to Lindy, Giant Opinion Sports, and Corey Davis. This is a great guy. I love talking with you guys. I'm definitely sure you're gonna love hearing his opinions and what he has to say, because he's a really good, knowledgeable person. So go check the guy's channel out. It is the pin link in the comments right now. But yeah, let's go through the schedule. Oh my God, more people.
Bobby. There he
Oh,
is.
look at bro. Joey B is here.
Did y'all have your
What's going on?
skirmish yet?
No, we still skirmish, but it's not like how we used to do.
Oh man, that was, I'll never forget that. That was
That thing
so
was hilarious.
hilarious.
Oh my God, Big Fritz. That's the big.
That was so
It
hilarious.
is crazy, Bobby. Go sub Lindy up though. Yes, 205 now. Let's go. Let's keep pumping it up. All right, let's go to these schedules real quick. We've been looking at the chat for the entire time. Let's share the screen. Sharing screen. Let's go. Let's go. To Atlanta, we play the Falcons week 1. Who do you have winning, Lindy?
Well, we already just.
Oh yeah. We already
just
I
went
had
over
one
that
and
one.
zero.
I got a win there.
We play the Niners in our stadium. Who do you have winning there?
Week 2, the home opener at the Link. You better expect all those Eagles fans at Lincoln Financial Field to be absolutely electric. Especially that we have a lot of players left over from the 2020 season that either missed it because of the pandemic, or they didn't get a taste of what it's like to be playing in front of a sold out crowd at the Link. Guys like Jalen Rager and some of those first year players, they didn't get that opportunity to do so. Eagles they're going to go into this game. They're not going to want to disappoint their home crowd whatsoever. And of course, this is going to depend on whether Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance is the starter for San Fran. We already know that they have the weaponry to compete against us. Whether it's George Kittle or whom else? Who else am I thinking of? They got a good
Ayuk, Debo, Raheem
Ayuk, Debo.
Raheem
Debo Samuel. They have a good. They got a good set of running backs over there. I think that's going to be another defensive matchup for both teams. But I have Philly winning by 3.
Wow. You have the Niners losing to.
I have us winning by 3. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 2-0 already. Beautiful. Going on to Arlington, Jerry's World. Let's just see. Who do you have winning?
Dang. As much as I hate to say it, I have us taking a L anywhere between 3 to 7 points. Just by observing how well Dallas played in spurts against Tampa Bay. This is the defending Super Bowl champions. They were in a hostile environment. Dak threw for almost 60 pass attempts, had almost 400 yards. He had a collection of touchdowns. He was very careful with the football. The offensive line of the Cowboys only got Dak sacked, I think, once, maybe 1.5 times. So they protected him pretty well. But I think our D line, talent-wise and depth-wise, is a pretty close match to how Tampa Bay sets theirs up. But it's going to depend on our consistency there. But because Dallas is a more established team at this point, I do have us losing in Jerry World by, let's say, 3 to 7 points. And we always seem to not be able to stop Zeke when it matters most. Yeah. We've only been able to shut him down for a couple of games that I remember.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the Dallas Cowboys at their stadium. Very hard, especially in Jerry's World. Very hard. Stay in Philly. Well, not stay in Philly. We were just on Arlington, but going back to Philly, the Eagles play Kansas City. Who do you have winning there? I mean, I don't really need to give an explanation.
Well, I mean, there's going to, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of butterflies here and there from Eagles fans with Andy Reid returning. He gets to see, he gets to see,
Sirianni.
a new staff being built up here.
Mhm.
Sirianni gets to meet him as well as some former Eagles players. There's going to be some nice moments here and there.
Yeah.
But realistically, we don't have the defense to stop Kansas City's offense for one, and two, I don't think we're going to score enough points to beat the Chiefs. So I have a man. I'm going to say I have anywhere from a 14 to 17 point loss to Kansas City. I don't think that it's going to be that kind of close game that we seen back in 2017 when we had to go to Arrowhead and lost to Alex Smith by I think it was only by a touchdown or something. I think it was 27-20. It's not going to be the case this year.
Yeah. Going to Carolina. Who do you have winning there?
Against the Panthers,
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be particularly close too. Sam Darnold is in a better situation than he was with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
It seems that they have a good trust system with him. He's got better weapons. He's got a good defense. The Panthers were the ones that picked up J.C. Horn, I believe, in the draft. So they're going to be a good group. They're going to be a good group. And I think they all or who was it that picked up? Oh no, Asante Samuel Jr. went to the Chargers. That's right.
Yep.
But no, the Panthers are a decently complete team in that regard. This is not going to be an easy one for Philly. This one's going to be a toss up to me because I'm not sure if I completely trust Sam Darnold. What would I say? What would I say for this game? Being that we are going to be battle tested from the previous 2 weeks, I have the Eagles winning this game by anywhere from 3-7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that leaves us 3-2 going into week 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's reasonable. Very, very reasonable. You got to remember, man, that that Carolina team went toe to toe with Kansas City last year. That's very
Sure.
hard to do. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a loss for us because I have us going 7-10, and I needed a loss for them to make the prediction a little more
Yeah.
reasonable.
That,
I've been saying a win, but yeah, I gotta lose that.
that's fair. I just don't know if they're going to have to rely on Christian McCaffrey to lead them to victory.
Yeah.
If Sam Darnold is not that guy. That's my only concern for them.
At the same time, though, I really want to say Philly's gonna win. I'm always so back and forth on this one. Oh
Yeah.
my God, man. This is such a good game, but it's such a weird one because we could win at the same time, but they could win at the same time.
Yep.
And I also don't want to say 8-9. I don't want to say a win right here because that doesn't help my point because I have the Giants going 8-9, and there has to be a tiebreaker for the end of the game, end of the season. So honestly, I may have us winning right here because if there's a tiebreaker at the end of the season, then we can fix that. So give me the win right here. And I agree. Yeah, I'm always back and forth on this game. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What? The stuff you're saying we all said about Dak years ago. I don't know about that because Sam Darnold has never had the season Dak did as a rookie in 16. Dak is a lot more established than Sam Darnold is. So no. I still don't trust Sam Darnold yet.
Wait, are we actually having a debate in the chat? Are you about Dak Prescott?
Yes, Matt. Yes, Matthew. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God, what's good, Ben Boy Vlog? What's good? Yo, what is up, Authentic? What is up, man? Big content creator for the Giants community right there. Give him a moderator.
So,
What's good, man?
but to be fair, in defense of Sam Darnold, he had nowhere near the level of weaponry for the Jets that Dak has had since his rookie year for Dallas. That's the only thing I will give Sam Darnold. But from a quarterback perspective, Dak's better. Dak's better.
1,000%. Not even a question. And then he says Dak has had the best O-line. Are you actually gonna bring
The
that
best
up?
O-line? No, not
No.
the best.
No, that's not a good take. But yeah, cool and appreciate that. As we're talking about the Giants, he shows up. Yeah. It's Dak. It's not even a question. Daniel Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I know the guys had nothing. I know the guys is nothing. And he's had nothing around him. But you can't tell me if Dak wasn't on that team, he'd do much better than Daniel Jones.
See, there's a Giants fan. There's a Giants fan in here saying Dak is miles ahead.
Exactly. You can't. What that take isn't. I don't get that take. Dak is miles ahead of freaking Sam Darnold. Like that. That shows you how much that the Jets didn't trust him. They'd have to draft their future franchise quarterback. They didn't trust him.
The one positive that Sam Darnold has going for him right now in his fresh start with the Panthers is that he's only 24 years old. There's a lot of development left there to be had. But it's just how well he takes his game to the next level. And if who is it that's working with him over in Carolina? Joe Brady. If Joe Brady can get that out of him, that's going to be the key factor here.
Yep. 100%. Dak's rookie season, Cowboys had best line in the NFL. That's fact. But even with a bad offensive line, he's still good. So you can't bring that point up and act like it means a lot. He's still good without a good offensive line. Like last year, your offensive line was horrible.
Yes, sir, Matthew. Thank you. Get over it.
Like what? Perfect. I'm sorry, but there's nothing about Daniel Jones like that just sticks out. I mean, his arm talent's there, but I don't know what makes you think that. He says, Authentic says that's not true though. That's not true about Daniel though. Daniel Jones' first 2 years are better than Josh Allen's in every passing statistic, just the turnovers. Okay, but what about last year?
So based on that, you have to assume. So based on that, you have to assume that guys like Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney are going to have the same impact on Daniel Jones that Stephon Diggs did when the Bills brought him in.
Yeah.
Are you placing a bet on that? I'm not. I'm sorry. Kenny Golladay doesn't stay healthy enough, and Toney is just a rookie.
Okay, he brings up this point. Last year just lacked touchdowns. And then he says now that Daniel Jones's weapons, Daniel should make a major jump. Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said about the weapons that Daniel Jones gotten and what. But who is it? Who is it on the Bills coaching staff that we wanted that really allowed Josh?
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either, but he was responsible for helping Josh Allen take that
Brian Daboll. Yes. Daboll. Yeah.
So with that said, did Daniel Jones make that same kind of jump yet that Josh Allen did to where he was in MVP consideration? No, absolutely not. And I don't think weapons alone are going to do that. It's how he is as a quarterback.
Yeah. And in terms of Josh Allen, like the dude made a step up. I get that. Well, I can agree that Stephon Diggs was one of the reasons that he was that good. But Josh Allen improved his accuracy by a ton. Like you could see it. He is confident as a quarterback. He is slinging that ball around with confidence, and it's no turnovers are happening right now. For him, he's just looked a lot better. He looked a lot better last year. And then he says Brian Dable, and he's been there for years. I think Garrett in a second. Yeah, even if
Giants fans have that much faith in Coach Clapp to help out Daniel Jones.
bruh, oh my god, I don't know where they're. I get Daniel Jones's talent, but I don't see it. I just don't see it, man. That dude is. That dude is. I don't know. I don't know how to lie. I don't know if I would be crazy or if I would just be cray cray for the entire day to see Daniel Jones have a good season. That would be ridiculous to me. I just don't see it, man. I mean, he's gonna be better, but Baker Mayfield type stats can be good for him. I guess not the biggest jump, but a little bit of a jump. That's what they're expecting from Daniel Jones.
How did Daniel look in training camp? I heard he was still throwing picks.
That's sad.
I don't know.
He says y'all got F this season. Don't run when your team's getting wrecked by Jones, okay? How about the same for your team? Jalen Hurts, I mean, that's what he's known for. Okay. Yeah. Didn't this conversation start off with Dak? LOL. A bit contradicting to hate on Garrett.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Bro, I'm sick and tired of Daniel Jones popping up every single time when we get into a quarterback debate. It's hilarious. Like, holy moly, I get that. We always bring the guy up, but damn, bro, I'm just tired of hearing his name. I don't want to hear more. All right, look just okay in camp, but Galladay and Tony haven't been around, nor Barkley.
Yep. This is okay. This is what's throwing me off. We have two Giants content creators saying different things in the chat. One saying that Daniel Jones was the best player in camp, and one was saying he looked just okay. So I'm gonna take the one that's adding a bit more context to what he's saying, rather than someone that sounds like delusionally biased. No hate. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Yeah.
So, thanks for your takes, Authentic. Thank you. No hate.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
no.
Offensively, no. No.
Yeah.
A quarterback being the best player offensively, no. No.
Yeah, man. I think Authentic and Lindy needs to get on the stream together. That will be fantastic.
I've worked with giant content creators before. You know, Nate and Balby. That was a cool stream. That was you would know about that, BPS. You would know about that. But yeah, those two are cool. Yeah, I'm open to working with other content creators, especially in the division.
You like to hear his voice. You definitely like to hear his voice. He has the best voice on YouTube. That dude's voice is godly. Like I don't know what God gave him to get that voice, but his voice is on another level. All right, bro. I guess I'm just biased.
I'm not saying you are biased. It sounds biased. There's a difference.
Yeah. All right, let's just get back into our schedule before we get into a little tantrum. We were at Tampa, right?
Yeah, there's a I'm sorry, but there's a fat L here. I don't see us being as offensively competitive the way Dallas was last night, but I can afford. So this is the weird part. This is going to be the weird part of how I say this. I can afford to see a loss here. And the reason being is that, okay, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, those are two teams right there that are the biggest lesson learners, teachers, and tests for a lot of these players and guys on the coaching staff. These are the kind of games These are the kind of games that you would want to see how, how well a coach stays in structure of his offense. How well is he able to make adjustments? Can he keep it? Can he keep his team cool and collected in the biggest moments? So, like, I can afford to see losses to Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Those are a little more, and I don't want to sound terrible here, but they're a little more excusable because Sirianni's going up against he's going up against one of the best in the business in Andy Reid, and he's going up against one of the best groups in the business between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. Todd Bowles is the defensive coordinator. Steve Spagnuolo for Kansas City. Those are very good games. Those are very good. Those are very good, like, teaching moments, like I was saying. So, I don't want to say the Eagles have no chance against Tampa Bay, but to me, it's not going to be close.
Yeah, I agree. How about the Raiders?
Vegas is a wild card game. Derek Carr, from time to time, he always seems to be one of those underrated type of quarterbacks because the Raiders aren't that kind of big of a market, so they don't really get all that much of media attention. But he's got some weapons over there, and Darren Waller and Henry Ruggs and Josh Jacobs, and he has his moments. He does have his moments. I think this is going to come down to I think this is going to just come down to how well the Eagles, if they can exploit the Raiders' defense. I think this is going to be a battle between how well the defenses play against the respected offenses. So I think this is going to be a defensive game. I would call this a swing game because I would not be surprised if it goes either way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a definitive win or a loss there right now.
Yeah, 1,000%. The Lions game, I really don't even have to give an explanation. I feel like yeah, I don't think we need to give an explanation.
We're worried about playing football, not biting kneecaps.
I really don't need an explanation for that.
We'll just say that.
Yeah, we'll just say a fat W. The Chargers game.
That's a loss. I'm sorry about that one. I don't see us beating the Chargers. We're going to be dealing with the offensive rookie of the year and Justin Herbert going into year 2, already used to how the Chargers run things. They didn't. I don't know if they necessarily got better or got worse over in the offseason. Yeah, they did lose Hunter Henry at the tight end position, but I still think they got and I think they lost one of the Williams guys at receiver as well. But I still think they have plenty of firepower to be able to, take advantage of an Eagles secondary. That's going to be a bit exhausted outside of Darius Slay and Steve Nelson. So. I mean, Justin Herbert's got that aura about him that he could very well be one of the better quarterbacks going into the future. And we already know how well they play on defense. I think that one's going to be a tough loss.
1,000%. It's going to be a very tough loss because the Chargers are a really good team on paper. Honestly, they match up really well with Kansas City. I think people have to start understanding that they are a threat in that conference and that division. They can be really good in the future. They have all the pieces. Injuries are some things that they have to worry about. Defense injuries have happened to them a lot, but I think it's going to be a lot better this year. If I'm personally being honest, I think they'll be a lot better. They're one of the more complete teams in the NFL this year. I think they'll go 10-7 maybe. But
didn't they lose Melvin Ingram too?
Yep, they lost Ingram to.
That's another bad loss for them.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
Steelers loaded up on defense.
I still think they'll go 3-14, but
and they locked up TJ Watt.
Yeah,
Good
he got
Lord.
paid like crazy.
Devin Bush, TJ Watt, Melvin Ingram,
Yeah,
uh,
that's nuts.
Minka Fitzpatrick. That defense is loaded.
Yeah, 1000%. Let's go to the Broncos. So, how about you, Mario?
Denver, this is another wild card game to me. Surprisingly, people think the Broncos are going to be trash, but Teddy Bridgewater isn't a quarterback that's going to blow you away, but he's that kind of serviceable quarterback. I mean, we've seen what he did in spurts in Drew Brees' absence, who we play the week after the
Mhm.
Broncos game. We play the
Yeah.
Saints, but we've seen at times on how well Bridgewater can manage a game. Dallas fans know about that very well when they should have beaten the Saints with Bridgewater as the backup, but that didn't happen. They were held to just 10 points when the Saints can only muster 12, but we're not going to talk about that because this is a new year. But yeah, I think this is just going to depend on how well Teddy Bridgewater plays as a quarterback. He's got plenty of weapons over there. Austin, I think it's Austin Eckler as his running back, or no, Philip Lindsay, excuse
Mhm.
me. I always get those two mixed up. Eckler
Yeah,
is the
Eckler
Chargers.
and Lindsey. Yeah,
Yeah,
1000%.
Eckler is the Chargers and Philip Lindsay is the Broncos. So he's got Philip there. He's got Cortland Sutton. He's got Jerry Jeudy. He's got KJ Hamler, who I also wanted as an Eagle. There's a lot of there's a lot of weaponry at his disposal there. But if we can pressure Bridgewater early and get him uncomfortable, I think the Eagles win this game, and I have them anywhere from a touchdown to 10 points.
Yeah, 1000%.
I don't think there's a whole lot of games on the Eagles. Is
Yep.
Philip Lindsay in
He
Houston?
is in Houston. He is.
Wow, I'm used to him as a Bronco all this time. Who
Yeah.
who
You got cut.
who do they have now?
Who, the
Who do
Broncos?
the Broncos have now at
They
running back?
have Melvin Gordon and Javante Williams.
Oh man, yeah, I don't think, yeah, they're not going to be very good as a run team. Then I don't see it. Melvin, I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
Melvin
it's
Gordon's that guy anymore.
but they got Williams. So I think Williams is
Yeah,
going
they do.
to.
That's fair. That's fair, but
Oh my God, Giant Opinion Sports, bro. Oh my, calm down, bro. He just says one thing and then he's all mad now.
how is it? How are the Giants and how is a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan going at it in a chat of jeez? And I thought Cowboys fans despised the Eagles more than the Giants, but them two are going at it.
Facts, bro. I thought we were a rival with the Giants, but this
Yeah,
dude,
no, yeah, thank you, Authentic. Noah Fant too. He's
yeah,
nice. Noah
yep.
Fant's nice.
And I want to go to a comment Authentic said earlier. What about it? Okay, so he said the lines are good. They're going to be a lot better than what people think they are. I agree, but I just don't think they'll beat us. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, that
that's
and Jared
true.
Goff.
Yeah.
We have to see how Jared Goff bounces back.
I mean, you're gonna have to hate it with the Daniel Jones hate when half of the league, I mean, most of the league thinks he's a horrible quarterback. I'm sorry, bro. I don't. What do they see in that guy?
Matthew, if you had to pick, who do you hate more,
I want
the
him to
Giants or Philly?
F the Cowboys.
See,
Everything.
exactly. Look at it. Giants fans have the same attitude against Dallas as some of us do. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I agree. Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
Goff isn't Matthew Stafford. Yeah, definitely. God, the Rams could be nasty.
Yeah,
Stafford has Deshaun Jackson. Like if Deshaun stays
yeah.
healthy, good
And
lord.
Robert Woods. Yeah, he has Cup and Robert Woods too.
Yeah, that's asking a lot right now though, because D-Jack is like 34.
Yeah. You said Authentic says I think people are higher on Daniel Jones than Jalen Hurts. Hurts gets hate because he's a runner. Daniel Jones gets hate because the turnovers. I mean, honestly, man, I think you can say the same thing about Hurts in terms of turnovers, but I
Yeah.
just think people see more potential in Jalen Hurts, which is 50-50 with him and Jones right now. I see upside in Jalen Hurts that I really like, and I see the same thing with Daniel Jones. But if I were to pick one and choose who can balance it out more, honestly, man, it's a tough decision. But Jalen Hurts is a competitor and a leader, so let's rock with him. How about the Saints game?
The Saints, um, another. I think this is another game where I question how well the quarterback's going to be. This is going to be, and now obviously we play the Saints later in the year. This is going to definitely depend on, um, how much, what is it, Jameis Winston has progressed as the starter for the Saints.
Yep.
We already know that he can sling the football, and I think he has the weapons to do so. I don't know about the Michael Thomas situation, but he's got him. What is that other receiver that is starting to stand
Traquan
out for them?
Smith and Callaway.
Callaway, yes, I heard him. Alvin Kamara is still there. But yeah, this is. We always seem to have battles with the Saints. Their defense is very difficult to score on. That's why that's how I think this game is going to end up being. If I just think it's going to be how well Hurts can attack this defense again. I don't think the Saints were necessarily ready for him in the first meeting, being that was his first official start. So I think the Saints have a better blueprint on how to stop Hurts. But this is going to be a different offense under Sirianni and Steichen. So I don't know.
A Giants fan and a Dallas fan going at it.
Yeah, I think this one's tough. I have this as a loss.
Wow.
I have this as a loss anywhere from 1 to 2 scores.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a win though, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true because this is the second year in a row that the Saints have to come to the Link. That's true.
Yeah. Going to MetLife where the Dirty Giants play.
Sweep.
Wow.
No questions asked. Sweep.
Wow.
Sweep. Giants again swept. I'm sorry. They again swept.
Damn. I didn't think y'all were that bad. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're just, yeah, I'm with Matthew on this. The Giants just, I'm sorry. The Giants just aren't that good. I don't know. I mean, and I'm biased. I had to put a joke in there. I had to put a joke in there. No. Now, see that's the thing though. I mean, the Eagles never seem to have a problem playing against the Giants, whether it's at MetLife or at the Link. And part of that is because of the fact that the Giants, well, I don't think they can call MetLife home because they share it with the Jets. So you guys need to figure that out and get
that's technically our home too.
But I mean, yeah, so the Giants have to work around the fact of a couple of things. One, can guys like Saquon and Kenny Golladay stay healthy? Yeah, Saquon, this is his first major injury, but knee injuries, as we just seen how it impacted a lesser tiered running back in Kerryon Johnson, how it impacted him, and he just went and he had a meniscus tear, and he was going to go into the year wearing a brace. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried for the Giants in terms of how healthy Saquon is going to be over the course of his season, how much they have to rely on him, how much punishment he's going to have to take. If Daniel Jones isn't that guy and he has to rely on his weapons more than his arm, like I'm thinking Sam Darnold is going to have to be with Christian McCaffrey, then I don't know if I trust the Giants without Saquon Barkley. He's their best player on offense. They tried to improve their receiving core with Kenny Galladay. They still have Sterling Shepard. They still have what's his name? Not because
Darius Slayton.
yes, Darius Slayton. Thank you. And then they're not going to have their tight end. So I mean, they loaded up on offense very well. They got depth that they needed, but yeah, I just
More
don't know.
Giants
We always seem to take care of business
Yeah.
against the Giants, whether it's a close game like last year or them losing by anywhere from 10 to 17 points and getting steamrolled. So, but I don't know. Realistically,
Mm-hmm.
I can still see a sweep, but I will say in fairness that we'll probably split with the Giants.
Yep, I agree. Um, Adam, more Giants fans. Oh my God. Just a mirage of freaking Giants fans. Um, but what's good, Adam? We are talking about your Giants right now. We both have us splitting with the Giants. Let's go to the Jets though.
If we're going to lose to the Giants, it'll probably be at MetLife.
Yeah.
I don't see us taking an L at the link.
Yeah.
I just don't.
The Jets, I don't even think we have to say anything. I mean, we
Nope.
should win that game.
No.
They're gonna be better. They have improved, but I
They
think
will be.
Yeah,
they will be. Washington football team. We get those guys. Wow. We get them very late in the year. Are we going to get Fitzmagic or Fitztragic? That's going to be the question. Is Fitzpatrick going to stay healthy? From time to time, he gets dinged up, I think, every now and then. He's 37, approaching 38. But he has the talent around him, realistically. Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin. They just locked up their tight end, Logan Thomas. They got another defensive player. That defensive front is absolutely nasty, that front four. They're going to be very competitive against our offensive line. I see another split here. Honestly, I see another split. I don't think either team is going to get swept in this scenario because we always do seem to play Washington competitively, unless it was a week where they imploded and couldn't compete at all. So I do see another split here, but I don't know. This one that could very well be different. But I'll take that as a split for now.
All right. How about the last game of the season, Dallas?
I think we get our revenge at the link for a week 3 loss. So,
all right. So, how many games was that? You had us. All right. So we beat Atlanta. You said the Niners, the Panthers. Did you say we beat the Raiders?
I wasn't sure on that one. I think that's going to be a toss-up.
Yeah. All right. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 losses, and we still don't know about the Raiders one.
Yeah. So like I've been saying all this time, my over and under is set to 8 games. Worst case scenario for me, we go 7-10 or 6-11, and best case we go 10-7.
Yep. All right. Let's stop sharing my screen. What is good again, chat? My face is back on your screen. My beautiful face is on your screen. I'm playing. Yeah. How the hell you only got 7 losses? I mean, the Raiders game was a toss-up. You didn't say that one.
Well, I mean, that only puts us 3 games above 500. It's not like we beat world beaters. I think I think that'd be a pretty fair assessment. You know that this
Yeah.
see the thing is here all of our toughest games are going to be early, and I think those are I think those are going to be the best the best measures of homework on how to analyze playing other teams based on the competition that we're going to see in the beginning of the season. So um,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I mean around five. No, I can't go. I can't go as low as five because there's no way I can't go as low as five. There's no way that we're going to be just above as far as expectations go. There's no way we're going to be just above what happened in 2020. There's just
Mhm.
I think there's too much pride. I think there's going to be too much pride this year in allowing that to happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm sticking to my prediction. Yeah, worst case scenario, we're 7-10. Best case is 10-7.
All right, let's not go that far. Matthew Goodman, chill, man. I know we have a rivalry, but let's not go that far. But yeah. Yo, what is good, Tony P? Where is your comment? Yeah, the Cowboys almost got that dub last night. I thought they should have won the game, but refs, we all hate them. We've all been through that. Yeah. It's been a fun stream, Lindy. We went from a whole Dallas to the Buccaneers thing to Cowboys fans and Giants fans debating in the chat. Yeah, having their little mirage in the chat or whatever. Yeah, let them know where they can find you again. It was a great stream. I had a blast.
I'm not mad at the 7-10. Yeah, of course you're not. Of course you're not mad.
Wow,
Of course we'll be under 500.
69 minutes.
Of course,
Yo, what
of
is
course he's not
good,
mad at that.
Barky? Barky, what's
But
good?
man, I think honestly, I think the stream went better than I thought. We had a lot of interaction with the chat. It was some things may have been biased or delusional or trash talking and whatnot, but in the NFC East, you're going to have that. I think we're one of the most competitive teams or competitive divisions in all of football, especially from a fan's perspective, because we don't. None of us like each other one bit. That's safe to say. I think other divisions
Mhm.
it's a little bit different. Like there's teams that tolerate each other, but at the end of the day, they just want to win the football game.
Yeah,
That's not the case for the NFC East.
yeah,
But yeah, man. Speaking of Tony P in the building, he's got the Lakers in the background. Didn't
yeah.
you
Tony
didn't
P
get to
was
your
my
you didn't manage to get to your Lakers, but well, really, people are already crowning them the champions of this coming season, which is a
yes,
bunch of
sir.
crap. You
Tony
have to earn
P.
it first. But we'll leave those kind of conversations for another day, another
Maybe
stream,
on your
of
stream.
course.
Maybe on your stream.
This won't, this may be the first one, but it won't be the last. And I would sure love to meet more new people in the YouTube community, whether it's just fans or content creators. I'm all up for that. But if you don't know who I am, of course, you can find me on Twitter under the same handle as my channel at Lindy Endzone.
Pinned in the comment section, by
Yes,
the way.
sir. A little over, I think, 140 followers now. It's getting up there. But on my channel, of course, you can see my fandom's all over the place. I cover the Eagles and Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, quite a combination. And then for Falcons fans, so I'm not hated that much. I do love the Atlanta Braves, but my Mavs and Eagles come first. You can find me over on my channel, continuing to grow. I got to catch up to Big Play Slay and others in the YouTube game here. Left me in the dust already. In the 600 to 700 subscriber range. I'm trying to break those, but as is always, I try to do that one video at a time, and I'm going to be very busy once both of these seasons start. You can look for play-by-plays of the Eagles and Mavericks on my channel. I will cover both during the regular
Yep.
season.
Yeah. I just told you Corey Davis. So I'm in the chat. I got that in me. I got a little Irish, Arabic. I got black in me, of course. I got everything. I got a mix of a lot of cultures in me. But yeah, Tony P says I got ahead. I got ahead of myself last year, same as me. This year I'm taking it slow with the Lakers. For sure. We gotta take it slow this year. We're still winning the championship, though. That's a known fact. 10 in here still. Go subscribe to Lindy, though, if you haven't. Fred, I know you're in here. I saw you. And Barky,
Yep.
where's I saw Barky in here. Hi, Barky. Yeah, Barky, him. Go subscribe to Lindy, everyone. So go subscribe to Lindy if you haven't. Get him to 300, please. It will be greatly appreciated. Yeah, great stream. And his link is pinned in the live stream. Yeah.
Appreciate it,
Mhm. And me and Lindy are out. Have a good one, y'all.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, before I go, all right, I'm gonna wait just to click the link.
Uh-oh.
All right, 206. All right, he clicked the link. Go sub up Lindy. But now we are actually out. Peace out, y'all. And he just subbed. Authentic just subbed.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
206.
He wants your opinion on the Valdez fight.
Oh my god. All right, 206. Go subscribe to him, Lindy.
Go.
Peace out, you guys.
We'll get there. See you, everybody.